Welcome back there, buds. Next up on the bench is Bucko. We're gonna find out all about my best bud, Bucko, today. All right, Buck, let's get you down. I know you don't like being up here, so we'll get to work on some paperwork. Here you go, boy. Good boy. I just want to go over some things with you before we get into these DNA results. Bucko's stats. He weighs in at 32 pounds. It's a lot of good boy for a little man. He's 28 inches long from the tip of his nose to his tail. He's 20 inches high from floor to shoulder height. He loves his treats and his belly rubs, but he hates the mailman and some people. Is some dogs too. He's got a very selective personality. It's kind of like me. He likes some people and he doesn't like some people, and he's not afraid to speak his mind. So, you know, he sheds water and dirt like a duck. So if he's swimming, he's dry minutes. If we go out hiking, he can be covered head to toe in mud. By the time we get back to the car, he's completely clean. One fun fact about him is that he has to sleep under the covers with me. If he doesn't, he just sits there and whines and wakes me up until he can get back under the covers, which that's about a nightly thing, which is pretty fun. So now let's get into the history of Bucko. It all started back in about 2018, in March of 2018. I had to say goodbye to my best friend Harry, who was my last dog. And once I said goodbye to him, I was very heartbroken, as anyone would be when they lose a best friend of 10 or more years. So one day, about a week later, it didn't last too long, you know. So I get on Pet Finder, just looking for fun. Didn't expect much. I saw a few dogs, and I thought, maybe I'm gonna go see these dogs. And I just didn't have the heart to go buy another dog yet. So when I stumbled across this photo, and I saw that little man sitting on a couch like a human, he sort of resembled my old dog Harry. And I just think it was fate. So I just had to go meet him. So he was located around Pittsburgh, where I lived at the time. There was a rescue, Sato Rescue, based just outside of Pittsburgh, that works with people from Puerto Rico to get these dogs rescued, flown up to the Pittsburgh airport, and then picked up and adopted out. They spend a little bit of time with foster parents until they get their forever homes. His foster mom, Trisha, was wonderful. She's even sent me a painting of Bucko. She loved him very much. So thanks to all of them. So I guess that just brings me to my next point. I mean, he is from Puerto Rico. He is from Ponce, Puerto Rico, is where he was found. They claimed that he came with a little bit of paperwork. I'm going to read off and show you some pictures. That's awesome too. I know his history for the most part. So they found him. It was a cold and windy day. It was a Sunday morning, January 28th, 2018. I was in a parking lot in Ponce, Puerto Rico, which Puerto Rico, if you don't know, is just a small island off the tip of Florida. Easy there. So they found the whole litter. There was, I guess, 6 of them. There was only 2 boys. Bucko was the run of the litter. He was this teeny tiny little boy. He was a skinny little fella. All these dogs, they were infested with fleas, bitten by insects. They had patches of bare skin. We can just take a look at some of these photos. It's just heartbreaking to see these teeny tiny little babies just, found in a parking lot. But anyways, yeah, I mean, they named him Bravo. It's for bravery in Spanish. So, yeah, we'll just take a look at some of these pictures here. Now, this first one with the pup under the tire in this parking lot, I mean, they said that they were just finding them scattered around. I don't think that is Bucko under that tire. But we do have some of Bucko. So there's some more. Here's one that, they're under some cover. And then here are all the ones of little teeny tiny baby Bucko. I'm assuming that this one is probably the day that they found them. I would assume that they were a few weeks old when they found them. And it doesn't really say in his paperwork for sure. So here's a couple other ones. This sweet baby boy. And then if we look here, this is his whole litter. It's the whole pack. Amazing little puppies. Who doesn't love adorable little puppies? So my best guess, he's one of the, I think only two maybe with a black mask. It kind of looks like that's Bucko there with his arm around one of his brothers or sisters, being the little lover man that he is. So I guess if we want to go from there, now we can talk about how Bucko got his name. So his name Bucko, B-U-C-C-O. I see a lot of times people saying Bucco. I believe it would be an Italian name. It's not Bucco, it's Bucko. He's named after the Pittsburgh Pirates. It was April 2nd, 2018 is the day that I met him and I got him. So I was tossing around some different ideas to friends of what I could name him. And then one of my good friends at the time, we were big Pittsburgh Pirates fans. We went to a lot of the games. And he said, name him Bucko after the Pirates. And it just so happened that April 2nd, 2018 was the opening day. They played the Minnesota Twins, and they actually won that game 5-4. It was the home opener. So it was very fitting, and especially since one of the greatest baseball players of all time, who was a Pittsburgh Pirate, rest in peace, his name was Roberto Clemente. You might have heard of him. He was a pretty good ball player. So from there, I would say all that's left to really do now is just to, let's get a drum roll. And I'm gonna read off. Bucko is made up of 16 different dog breeds. There could be some like moose in there for all we know. Probably not though. So there's 16 breeds of Bucko. Starting off at 2%, there's a handful of breeds. There's a Polynesian street dog, which all these pictures, by the way, are from Wisdom Panel. That is how I got his DNA tested. They didn't sponsor his video. I reached out, but they didn't answer. They don't care. So anyways, Wisdom Panel, that's who provides these pictures. 2% Polynesian street dog, 2% Pekingese, 2% Australian cattle dog, 2% Tibetan Mastiff, which, if I'm correct, I think that's one of the largest dog breeds in the world, which he doesn't have too much of that in him. One of the funniest and best ones that I think he is I can't even pronounce the full one, but they call it a Xolo. It is the Mexican hairless dog. And if you want to watch some pretty good videos about a dog or any breed in general, look up this Xolo, X-O-L-O, and then a whole lot of other letters. It's got a heck of a story. So, great breed. Going from there, at 3% now, he is a Segugio Italiano. I'm terrible with these pronunciations, so bear with me. and 3% toy poodle, which, okay, 3% Peruvian Inca orchid, which, great dog. 3% Danish Swedish farm dog, which, okay, he's a pretty good, he likes to please, he's a good worker. Then when we, bounce up to 4% here, we are at the 4% mark with the American Pit Bull Terrier and Cocker Spaniel. Those are both at 4%. So, now, the top 5 breeds. This is where it gets very interesting. 6%, once again my pronunciation is probably wrong, Australia Mountain Dog, which is, I'm assuming, a fairly huge dog. Also, kind of puzzling how some of these dogs are in him. But anyways, these are the top 5. These are, the majority of what he is. At 8%, he is Dalmatian and German Shepherd, which I can sort of see the Shepherd in him. At 10%, I don't see it. It's very puzzling. But 10% Chow Chow. Now, how he's Chow Chow, I guess it's probably his temperament and some of his barking and things like that. So, the moment we've all been waiting for, and one of my jokes that I've always had with him, and what I've always kind of assumed, and first of all, I will say that everybody's always said Whippet, Greyhound, something along those lines, and I can just say, no, it's not that. I was blown away that there is not a single bit of Whippet or Greyhound. He gets those long legs, I'm assuming, from the Dalmatian and German Shepherd. 38%, buds. He is 38% Chihuahua. I knew it. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this. We're gonna go for a hike now. So come along, let's go for a hike. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and share and subscribe this and follow along for all the future projects and videos, me and Bucko and the gang, and just see what kind of furniture we can fix next. So thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Let's go for a hike. Bye, buds. Uh-oh. It's down in the hole. Nothing down there? Might be something in there you don't want to find, Buck. See any beavers, Buck? No? No beavers today. They're all sleeping.